This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2021 Zinger model 333DB. Alright. So I'm on the door side of the trailer, walking towards the rear. Okay. So you see we have an outside kitchen with a refrigerator, 110 volt AC refrigerator, a sink with running water, and a cooktop. Okay. Now the cooktop has to be plugged in. I'm sure the hose is inside the trailer, but so I'll talk you through it a bit here. Down here you can see you have a quick connect for an LP line right there. Okay. So this will plug in. Oh, it's actually already hooked up to this side, so good. Let me get it here. So you've got it already hooked up to your cooktop, but you'll take the male end here. Let me see if you can see it there. There you go, the male end, and it'll plug into this quick connect down here. That's how you get your gas supply to this cooktop, okay? Now as we move forward, you have a slide out on the awning. It's a power slide out with an LED strip. Then you have another power slide out on the trailer body itself here, which is a power awning with an LED strip. Your steps fold into the trailer, so if you're on uneven terrain, you can adjust the legs on these by pulling this pin completely out. Let me see if I got, there we go, completely out. You just pull it out, slide the leg up and down to the proper length. You do the same thing for the other side. All right. You have a power right here, and then you have antenna out, so you could actually put a TV set out here. Now you have power stabilizers. So in the back you have one switch for both rear, and in the front you have one switch for both front here. So you're just going to extend it. You can see that they go up and down. Of course, you don't lift the trailer with this. All you're doing is taking the wiggle out of the trailer. It's just to stabilize it, not to lift it. This is your hitch. We will go through your hitch with you when you pick it up, show you how it works, but that's it right there. You have two LP tanks. You have a power tongue jack. Now if this power tongue jack fails, there's a crank that comes with it that you could put right on this, take this cap off and put the crank on this shaft in there, and you can actually crank this manually if you have to. Okay. You also have a deep cycle marine battery right here. All right. I don't know if this is open or not. And that's just the other side of your pass-through storage. The crank that I was referring to for your power tongue jack is right here. It's this small one right here. Okay. All right. So you have an outside shower, hot and cold water. You have your city water connection, which is the most common way to get water to the trailers. You'll just hook up right there. You're having a very difficult time seeing the monitor here. Here we go. So excuse my camera work. But you have this port where you'd hook up your city water. Now if you go to a campsite or a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsite, you can actually fill your fresh water tank here and use the onboard pump to pump the water. So you can actually carry the water with you and everything will work just like you have city water, even if you don't. All right, so let me look back here. These are your dump valves here. This is a gray and a black. You can see black one is on the left, gray one's on the right. You put your hose on there, put the other in the dump station, you dump the black first. The black is toilet water and waste, so you dump that first. Then you'll dump the gray second. The reason you do it in that order is so you can use the cleaner gray water sink and shower water, to help wash out the black water, toilet water and waste from the hose. So it's just the cleanest way to do it. Then if you leave your black tank valve open, you can come up here to this black tank flush here, and you hook your hose right on there, turn it on, and it'll spray the inside of the black tank out and get it nice and clean. Okay. This is water heater on the outside. It works on both gas and electric, I'm thinking. Where is it? Well, this is your drain plug right here. Right, so your drain cap, I guess. So we'll check out the switches inside and see, and I'll show you where they are inside to operate it. Keep in mind, this is a pressure release valve here. Never release the pressure or pull the cap off, the drain cap off, if there's hot water in the tank. You don't ever want to do that, obviously, so you don't want to scald yourself, or worse. So now you have two other valves here, a gray and another black. So you got another gray tank and another black tank, so you would dump those in the same order, and this would be the flush right here for this black tank back here. So you got two black tanks and two separate flushes. Of course, your power cord is 30 feet long and 30 amp, as you can see. This is just cable or satellite through to the inside of the trailer. I wish I could see the monitor better. I'm having a terrible time here. I don't want to, I'm not sure if I'm doing a good job. There we go. I guess I can see that a little bit. So anyway, that housing up there tells us that this is pre-wired for a backup camera. So if you want to add a backup camera, you would get a Furrion backup camera that fits in that housing. Okay, we sell them here, but no matter where you buy it, it has to be the one that fits in that housing. Also, while we're looking up, I just want to remind you, you have to inspect the roof of your trailer and the sides, but mainly the roof. You figure every 90 days or 3 times a season. You go up there, check all the sealant, see if there's any cracking or separation starting, anything like that. And if you do see it, when you do see it, you got to have it taken care of immediately. It's very important for anybody who owns a trailer to inspect the seals on a regular basis, so keep that in mind. Okay, so this is your control panel when you first walk in the door. Your awning, power awning switches are here. Keep in mind, you never want to leave the power awning out unattended. You're always going to roll them in when you're not at the campsite, because you don't want the wind and weather to damage them. You have your 2 slide outs here. Okay. Lights here. Okay. So the water heater, I mentioned that the switches were in here, so this is to light it on gas, this is to light it on electric. Now keep in mind, you never want to run your water heater without water in it. That's called dry fire in it. It'll damage it. That's not a warranty issue. It would be a user error. So you always got to make sure you got water in the water heater tank before you turn on any gas or electricity to heat it up. Also, I mentioned you have a pump. That's right there. You use that to pump water out of the fresh water tank into the trailer, and you also use it for winterizing the trailer to pump antifreeze into the system. Okay. Battery, you see, is charged. Fresh water's got 1/3 in it right now. Black water's got 1/3. Black water 1 has got 2/3. 2 is empty. You see, it graduates up in 1/3 increments. So once you get past 2/3, you got to think about dumping your tanks. And the auxiliary, which is your second black tank, has got a little bit in it too. We're still water testing it, so that's why there's a little bit of water in there right now. When you pick it up, there will not be. Now, you can't run your fireplace and your air conditioner at the same time. It draws too many amps. So you can select it here, which way you want to go. If you want to run the fireplace, you switch it here. The air conditioner, you switch it that way. Okay. While I'm looking down here, this device down here is your, where are we at here? Your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector right there. It should always be green like it is. If it goes off, obviously you're going to take everybody outside, leave the door open, set the or turn off the gas at the front at the tanks and figure out what's going on. All right, that's important. Just so we know, the to access your water heater valves, which are basically they're called bypass valves, they're on the back of the water heater. You pull this drawer out, same way with your water pump. So there's all under here. So you would pull this drawer out, you basically push one of these tabs down, if you can see it there, while pulling the other one up, and then you just slide the drawer out, and then you can access the valves and everything through there when you're winterizing and dewinterizing. All right, this device down here is a power converter. What it does is it converts 110 AC to 12 volt DC. So you can see you have regular 110 AC circuit breakers here, and they're labeled. Then the power is converted over to 12 volt DC here. You got 12 volt fuses, and they're labeled. If any of the fuses blow, they'll actually light up, so you can see them through this tinted plastic. Also, as long as you're plugged in, this is a battery charger. So keep your batteries on the front charged up as long as you're plugged in. So your tow vehicle will charge it when you're pulling it, and when you're plugged in to shore power, campground power, you'll charge the battery also with it. So that's a good thing. Your range, you just spark to light. So you go to high and spark it just like I did. You see it lit right there. So you turn the sparker clockwise. Now this right here, down here, is where you find a pilot light for your oven. So I can spark it so you can see what's happening down there maybe. It works like this. You'll go to the oven knob, you'll turn it to the picture of the flame, which is for your pilot light. Then you'll push it in and hold it. You keep it depressed, then you spark this by turning it clockwise until the pilot light down here lights. Once it lights, you're still holding this in. You hold it for another 10 seconds or so after you light it to heat it up. Then you go to operating temperature. It'll cycle on and off like an oven does, but when you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Alright. This is a range hood. It's got a fan and a light. This microwave works like any other microwave. Your refrigerator is just basic 12 volt compressor refrigerator. You just turn it on. It's very basic. You can look the directions over, but it's a simple design. It's made to be, so that's good. You got a pantry here, of course. Your fireplace has a remote like that. Now, if we remember, I had changed that to AC over here, so we're going to go back to fireplace because I'm just going to demo it to you. So you take the remote, turn it on. So right now, if you can see it flashing H, that blue H flashing, that means high. That's the fan speed, right? I can feel it blowing out on me now. So it goes from off, low, and high. You got 3 positions for it. Then of course you have a thermostat. You can see there, goes up in 5-degree increments, 65, or 95, 85, 80, so on and so forth. Okay. You also, it's got a timer in it, so you can set it to with the timer. And you can also change the picture of the flame, or not what did I say? Not the picture of it. Well, anyway, you can adjust the look of the flame. I mean, that's more natural looking there. You can go blue and red and what have you. So, okay. Your sound bar is basically you can stream off this USB here. You can hook up wirelessly and stream with Bluetooth from your phone or your tablet. So it does a lot. You can obviously wire it through your TV. Once you hang a TV here, there's a backing plate there for a bracket. So you can integrate it into the system, and there's the remote for it right there. Okay. Alright, so let's see what else we have. You can remove the table base and then just set this table onto these cleats and then use the cushions to fill in the space. You have a bed there. You can also, you have probably jackknifes, let me see. Yeah, this couch will also jackknife flat into another bed. So you could sleep another couple people there. The bunk room has its own bathroom. Right here, let me get some lights in here. Okay, so you got a powder room basically, a toilet and sink. The toilets are, like, both of them have foot flush pedal, like right here. One thing, if you have never owned one of these before, you have to keep in mind, you always have to have chemical and water in it when you start using them. So, when I say in them, I'm talking about in the black tank, which is directly below. That's the black tank down there. So, when you get there and the black tank is empty, the first thing you do when you go inside after hooking up the water and the power, you put a dose of chemical right in the bowl. Whichever chemical you use, you'll just read the directions and put 1 dose in there. Then you'll step on the pedal, and because there's water pressure, it'll come swirling out, and you'll just stand on the pedal till you put about a gallon or so of water in the tank. There's no way to tell that exactly. You just get it close. Just use common sense. The thing is, you got to have some water in there and some chemical before you start using it, because you can't use it dry. Otherwise, the smell alone will just about drive you over the edge. So you got to do that. Okay. All right. And also, there's a fan, of course, up there. Now, this will go up, and you can latch it into place at a 45-degree angle, so you can sit underneath it. This couch will jackknife flat, if you need it to turn into another bed. Of course, you got another bed up here, so that's 3. You can hang a TV in here, and you've got power and, let me see, and antenna hook up here, so if you wanted to, to power up a TV or whatever you're going to use in there. So keep that in mind. You've got an escape window back here. So this just works by, you would push this all the way through, right? And then you would grab a hold of this red tab and pull the screen out, and then you can exit out the back if in an emergency. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. Let me see what I forgot here. Your thermostat is just an analog thermostat. It's very simple. The fan you try to put on auto all the time. Heat is this way. Fan is here. Fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. And then cool, which is the full air conditioner running. And then back to off. So keep in mind that it's analog and it's very basic. The furnace will continue to cycle even though I shut it back off after turning it on. The flame went out immediately when I shut it off, but it still runs through a cycle to purge itself. It takes a couple minutes. So another escape window, you have storage underneath the bed. Okay. The bathroom is just like the other one, except it has a shower, of course. So you got a shower, which works like any other shower. Always run the fan with the shower to pull the humidity out. Okay. Also, you have a GFCI here, so keep in mind all the plugs are wired through a GFCI. So even if you don't see a GFCI on the plug is actually wired through this. So keep that in mind. You have to reset it there. The toilet, same thing goes with this toilet as with the other one. You got a flush pedal. You never run it dry, so you're going to put chemical in there. Step on the pedal and put about a gallon of water in there, somewhere around there. It doesn't have to be exact, okay? All right. So, I think that covers it. Let me look around here. Yes. Okay. Well, thanks for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days? Somebody has to go up there and take a look around. So always do that. That's very important when you own a trailer. And it also has to be winterized, so keep that in mind. You always bypass the water heater before you pump antifreeze in, and go from there. So, thank you very much.